Right now, I want to talk about the arcade one-up machines. I believe they started coming out. It was around 2016, 2017. At least that's the first time I ever heard of them. Um, and I'm gonna have to say to the guys that came up with this, my hat's off to you guys. Whoever was responsible. I mean, just the idea of being able to get an arcade machine for a quarter the price and a quarter the weight, and obviously a quarter, if not less, of the space it takes up. I have owned a full size arcade machine. It was when I had my first apartment, and it was X Men Children of the Atom. Well, I sold it for two reasons. One, because I knew the apartment I was moving to was upstairs, and I was not about to carry that bitch upstairs. And two, that money went towards my first flat screen. So I don't regret it, don't miss it at all. They had the game on PlayStation 1, and now I have it on one of my arcade one-ups. So yeah, I'm not crazy about the tabletops they've come out with, where you can hang them on the door or put them on top of a bar or table. I just love the full size ones, obviously with the stands. Um, the idea of the pinball machines, like Invasion from Mars, is cool. My biggest complaint is the whole pinball machine is it's fucking digital. I don't like looking down and it's fucking digital. I want to see the fucking slides. I want to see the ramps. I want to have the fucking ball hit the bumpers and shit. I mean, I know why they probably didn't do that because the parts and pieces are extremely expensive. But anyway, so as if you guys already know what I'm about to say, it's gonna be about the generations of the arcade one-ups. So the first generation of the arcades, the biggest issue I have is none of the first generations had the light up marquee at the top. So unfortunately for me, my Street Fighter Two Champion Edition is a first generation and doesn't have the light up marquee. All my other ones do. Um, but that's actually my biggest complaint with that. Would I like to see some other cabinets for Arcade One Up? Absolutely. They finally have done the X Men by Konami, and that's obviously one I definitely want. Right now, I got my eyes on the Mortal Kombat 2. Um, but no, I think they're amazing. Just amazing to have. Get a couple of those, have your own little mini arcade. I love them. I mean, the first time I saw this shit, it was like in a Walmart magazine, and it was around, I think around Thanksgiving or Christmas, and it said new item, and I saw a picture of a kid standing next to the arcade, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, what? $300 for this? Shit. Fuck yeah. So I love them. God, I love them. Um, my goal is I eventually want to have at least 10 of those machines. At least. Um, they actually did the Fast and Furious one, which I was surprised. I was kind of hoping they would actually have a bench or a sit down like the Outrun game did. Guys, you know what I really want to see? They done the Terminator 2, and I'm glad they did. For Arcade One Up, I want to see one at the House of the Deads. Now, if I had the money, the two full-size arcade games I would buy is, I don't care if it's used, Hydro Thunder, where you got the fucking racing boats, and the Jurassic Park game, where you actually sit on a bench, and the very back outside of the arcade machine looks like the back of the Jeep, not the Wrangler, the Explorer. And I mean, you can fucking close the fucking curtain and yeah, that machine's like fucking $20,000 to $30,000 used. I remember Chuck E. Cheese used to have it. But no, just those machines, man, arcade one-ups. I mean, if Walmart unfortunately is having less and less in stock in their stores. So if I were you guys, if you're interested, I would check eBay and definitely Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people have been selling them, and some are even up for trades and stuff on those. But no, I think they're an amazing, amazing thing they came out with. This is one of the things, guys, where I actually love what they've done with technology. I know I bitch about technology all the time, but this shit is fucking awesome. I mean, if I had this shit when I was a fucking kid, I'd shit my fucking pants. When I first saw this shit come out, I'm like, fuck. So, that's what I think about the machines. To close this up, for me to think of cabinets for arcade one-ups, I would love to see. Let's see, they've done a Killer Instinct one. I'm just obviously thinking outside the top of my head of games that actually went to the arcade. That'd be an awesome cabinet. That's actually a good question. I mean, they got the X-Men I wanted. I'm really actually trying to think of an actual arcade game I would love to see put in the arcade one-up library. They finally did the Marvel's Capcoms 1 and 2. I actually cannot think of one right now, guys. I'm really impressed with their cabinets. Oh, and they have finally released. They had Pac-Man, then they had the Pac-Man Legacy Collection, then they had Mrs. Pac-Man. Well, the one I have my eyes on is the Mrs. Pac-Man / Galaga. So it actually has the light up marquee with this Mrs. Pac-Man on the left, Galaga on the right. I definitely want to get that machine. I would love to have the machine. But that's my review real quick on arcade one-ups. And again, guys, whoever is responsible for making this, please keep making them. I love them, and I really suggest you guys check them out. They're really cool. So you guys take it easy, and I will and always will be the Movie Nerd 85.